Good morning, friends. This is Lee Kersey, the Simple Georgian. I want to say Happy Memorial Day to all of the folks out there, and we hope y'all have a good day. And fortunately for me, because of it being a federal holiday, I'm off today. But which I'm off every day. They just let me out the pen every now and then. So anyway, uh, but no, it's we want to remember all of our fallen soldiers, and that's what Memorial Day is all about. You know, they gave the ultimate sacrifice for us. You know, the ones that fought in battle and died in the battlefield, and they gave the ultimate sacrifice for us to have our freedoms. And I'm not going to get on a political stump, but because I feel like some of the wars that we were involved with was not necessary, and I also feel that some of the wars in the past, history that I've seen and read about and studied about were wrongly, how can I say, wrongly distributed in the history books. I'll put it like that, and that's where I'll leave it. But anyway, I wanted to make a VR to Montana Piper. I have not physically met him, but I know him through our group in the Happy Piper group that I'm in on Facebook, and that's how I know about him. And he seems to be a pretty cool guy, him and his wife. I know they was at Chicago this year, and unfortunately I did not have a plan B to go, but I'm working on plan B for next go around, so this stuff won't happen to me again. But they wanted 4 different things, and the 4th one, unfortunately, I'm not going to be involved in, because I'm like them. I'm just learning the ropes with this YouTube stuff. So, but I'll get there eventually, and what have you. I'm trying to find the creator pages or whatever that I need. I know 3 or 4 people use different things like CapCut. I think a couple of my friends use the Riverside and a couple of others, but I'm trying to figure out which would be the best one for me that I can utilize. I know I can't do it all on the phone. I've got to do it on my laptop, and right now I'm just not set up to do everything on my laptop. I've got to get a hard line into the house, because with me being on the road, I didn't have all that. And yeah, I've got a hotspot, but I try to keep my hotspot for emergencies and studying and this and that and the other, not all of this other. But anyway, so the 4th thing for the Montana Piper, Miss Montana Piper, that is most creative VR. So unfortunately I won't be able to participate into that one. Number 3 was the favorite place to smoke a pipe. Me, in my situation, I don't smoke in the house. I don't smoke in any of my vehicles. I utilize the pipe and the cigars to get away from things and to reminisce. And I don't have to have a perfect world, but I also don't want to be burning up or freezing either. And down here in South Georgia where I live, humidity is so rough. So I probably, most of the time, I don't even smoke a pipe. If I do smoke a cigar, it's a little, what we call a Savannah Quickie. It's a little small cigarillo from a local brick and mortar. And a shout out to the Ye Olde Tobacco Shop. They have 2 stores here in Savannah, and it's a family owned business, and they're in their 51st, 52nd year, something like that. And that's Ye Olde Tobacco Shop in Savannah. They have 2 stores. Unfortunately, we do not have a cigar lounge. We cannot, in this area in Georgia, we cannot smoke indoors in places like that. And I think it's ridiculous, but it is. I could understand it, restaurants or whatever, but in a standalone building or a cigar lounge, I feel like you should be able to smoke. But it is what it is. So we have them 2 places, and so I'll get a little cigarillo every now and then when I'm out walking the dog, let her do her business, and that's usually about a 15, maybe 20-minute smoke, something like that. And the 4 corn cobs, 5 corn cobs, whatever it is that I smoke out of on a regular basis, those are usually between 40 minutes to an hour. And I'm just not one of the people that enjoys the heat that much. If I'm not working and trying to earn a living, I'm not going to put myself outside no more than I have to, just to be in the heat like that, because I'm in it all the time. Even when I was on the truck, I was in the air-conditioned truck, but I had to get out in the bad weather, dealing with the heat, loading and unloading, putting straps on, even in the vans. It gets hot in the vans and stuff, and it's just, I use that time to get away from work. So until I can get me a smoking lounge portable building put up, if I do smoke one, it'll be right here on the back porch, either early morning or late afternoon when the humidity's not so bad. And so I don't smoke too much, and which is a shame, because I've got tobaccos out the yin yang that I have that I'm wanting to try, and unfortunately I'm not. It's going to be a little bit before I get to try them, but I'll get a building put up and have me a controlled environment where I can sit and smoke. So, but as it stands right now, my favorite place to smoke a pipe would be either in the lounge or on the back porch at this moment. Number 2, shout out to the new presenters. There's a few new presenters that I've found through this latest couple of challenges, and one of them that really impressed me to an extent was Carrie. She started off, the first video I seen right before the Codger challenge, and when she started off, she had like the one video, and she stuck it out through the whole Codger. She made a little blend. She stuck it out through the whole Codger challenge with Paladin Piper, and that really impressed me with her being a new presenter. And so I want to give a shout out to Carrie, and I'll put her link in the bucket. And the number one thing that Montana Piper, Miss Montana Piper, wanted to know was, what do you enjoy the most of YTPC? The thing that I've enjoyed the most out of the YTPC, when I started in 2023, I think it was the friends that I have made along the way, the people that I have met, the knowledge that I have learned, and a lot of it has been by going to the pipe shows. People's like, oh, I can't go to a pipe show. I don't want to go to a pipe show or whatever. And for financial reasons, I can understand. If you got to have your priorities. I get it. But I was on the road. I'm single, never been married, and it was a way for me to get out of the truck and spend my off-duty time on the road. So I was actually able to go to the pipe shows. I met a lot of these YouTube presenters at the shows. A couple of regrets that I do have is I did not actually physically get to meet Mark Ryan before he passed. He was at Chicago last year, and I did not get to meet him, and I wished I could have. I have not met Mr. Gregory Pease yet, and he's been at 3 of the shows that I've been to, if I'm not mistaken. And I did not get to meet Dwayne Noel of Dry Creek Wrangler School. I saw him and his wife, Deanna. I saw them at the Muletown Pipe Show the first year I went. They was there with, well, sir, his name just escaped me, and I know better. Dr. Alan Harrelson. They was there with Dr. Alan Harrelson, and I saw them, but I did not realize it was them until after I left the show. And that was my first pipe show that I had went to, and it was overwhelming. So I didn't really mingle and stuff like that like I should have. I met a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but I didn't physically get to meet them and talk to them. I did see them, but the friends that I have made, the acquaintances I've made, the videos. Everybody has different videos, different styles, and some of the ones that I have watched, like Matches 860, I have learned so much from him, and I understand that Sergeant Savinelli is supposed to bring his channel back up. I'm glad I got in early enough that I could see a lot of his videos. Matches, John Harden. I also got in early enough that I could see a lot of the Artful Codger videos. I'm glad I was able to get in early enough to where I could meet Anit and Lady Fire. A couple of years. I've known her and Raphael a couple of years prior to her passing. I was very thankful for that. They probably had some of the best videos content-wise with the different honors and sponsorships and stuff that they done that I really enjoyed. I've got to talk to Mr. Ed, the Armchair Piper. Really love his videos. And of course, I got to meet a lot more of the people with the different videos over, different pipe shows and stuff, like Pipe Man 1861, Brian Doran, Beans 316, Mutton Chop Piper, Greg the Tunnel Tate. Oh my word. So many. So many. I didn't write them all down. I just wrote down the stuff for the VR for Montana Piper. But that's what I enjoy most about the YTPC. With my current job, I don't have time to sit down and watch it like I used to with the truck. But I try to catch up on what I can. Miss Carolina Rose has been somewhat of an inspiration, with her posting and, trying to keep everybody uplifted. Everybody goes through hard times. Everybody has problems. Everybody has things that happens to them and stuff like that. The comedic actions of just piping, I love it. That's what brings people together. And when you meet these people at the different shows or at a smoking lounge or something like that, it just makes for a different world. It's you sort of kind of feel like you kind of know them for the most part, and go from there. And that's the stuff that I've enjoyed about the YTPC. It's been helpful to me for the most part, starting my pipe journey. I met Johns from John Pipe Journey. I met him at Muletown this past year. A lot of these artisan blenders that I deal with now, I'm getting more pipe tobacco from different artisan blenders, but they only do, small batches. A lot of them do pre-sales. And if you don't catch it when they put it up, most of the time you don't get it. So I met a lot of them through the YouTube pipe community and at the different shows and through the Facebook groups and Instagram groups that I'm in. And that's part of the reason I've got so many different blends of tobacco. Um, I I can't even begin to count. Last count I had was probably over 400 different blends. The last count I had on the pipe tobacco, but a lot of it is 1 ounces here, 2 ounces there. It's not a big amount, but I buy a sample, well, what they call a sample, which would be a 1 ounce, or either I'd buy, most shops only sell 2 ounce bags, so I'd buy 2 ounces just to try it. And when I'd order online from the different places that we ordered online, I'd buy 1 ounce of this and 1 ounce of that. The only ones that I got a bunch of was right there at the end when I found out that Sutliff and McBaron got bought out by STG. I bought several of the favorites there. A little bit at the time as it popped up, 6, 8 ounces, stuff like that at the time as it popped up. I bought out a bunch of blending components, and that's what made me want to get into blending. And then these guys that does the small blending, I'd buy what I could off of them at the time. 1 pack or 2 packs, whatever I could get, with my money at the time, I'd buy whatever. So that's how I've got so many blends. I don't have a ton of one kind of tobacco. It's all different kinds. And when you buying like that over a 3-year period, every paycheck, 1 to 2 ounces, every paycheck, it adds up. And I wanted to try as many different kinds as I could. And when I go through my pipes and start making videos of them, I'll also go through my tobaccos at the same time. I'll try to get them all separated out. And but I've got it to where I know and have bought from, I think it's 12 or 15 different custom blenders. So anyway, that's my VR, the Montana Piper, and Miss Montana Piper. And we thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for subscribing. I hope y'all have a good day. Happy Memorial Day, and God bless.